All right, so the Hanging in the Wind exhibition has been in the making for about the last 12 months. It's a culmination of around 20 photographers' work who have all been employed as photographers at the North Queensland Newspaper Company, or the Townsville Bulletin, spanning over the last 40 years. So the Hanging in the Wind title came about by the idea of how I was going to hang this exhibition, and for a lot of the older photographers, growing up and processing our own film and building our own darkrooms, which is now sort of a thing of the past. So the whole hanging of this sort of goes back to that idea. I wanted something that was pretty big and sort of really in your face. And the actual paper is newsprint itself, so to keep in theme with the media and the Townsville Bulletin putting on this exhibition. We worked out that there's about, just probably under 200 metres of paper here in all. There's probably 200 to 300 odd images, and I've probably spent the last 6 months getting in contact with some of the photographers, getting them to send images, me having to find images because some of them didn't have any or kept them, so it's been a bit of a challenge over the last couple of months at least. This is a photo of an old dairy farmer up around Miller area that Evan Morgan took images of. We might trip away for 2 weeks at a time and just call into different towns, pick up different stories, off the beaten track stories, and it's the likes of these ones that sort of really tell stories about North Queensland. So this image here was taken by Michael Chambers. He started at the Bully back in about 1982 and stayed with the company for about 13-14 years. This picture is actually the repainting of the sugar sheds down at the port. This is an image here taken by Gary Schaefer, and it's actually one of the first sky shows that Townsville saw. The lights here across or along the Strand in front of Castle Hill are actually those of a helicopter coming into land. The image above it is a picture of one of the Young Endeavour replicas coming into port. Again, this was taken back in the 1980s. So these pictures from VP50 and VP60 were very big, significant events in Townsville. A lot of people came back to the city, reminisce the times when the announcement of the end of the war took place. A lot of people at the opening made comment on this photograph as being one of their favourites. It was taken by Laurie Nielsen-Carr, who has now left the paper and has her own photographic business still in Townsville. For memory, the assignment was a part of one of our weekend magazines and tied in with old people being active and getting out and enjoying life. So you will notice a few of the photographs in the exhibition have been from photographers who have been overseas on assignment. Troy Rogers did a trip to Afghanistan a couple of years ago now and came back with a multitude of images. The image underneath this one is from flood times. Obviously, Ingham's been, or a lot of Queensland, devastated over the last couple of years in a lot of waterlogged areas. So as you can see, folks, there's just hundreds of photos here. Wall to wall, 3 metres in height, lots of colour, lots of stories to tell. Come down to Umbrella Studio until the 20th of May. Have a look at this great exhibition showcasing 40 years of Townsville Bulletin photography.